10 forest camping scary stories that actually had experienced in different places. The Whispering Pines. A group of friends sets up camp in a dense forest known for its tall, whispering pines. As night falls, they begin to hear faint whispers that seem to come from the trees themselves. At first, they dismiss it as the wind, but the whispers grow louder, forming distinct words and calling their names. One by one, the friends start to disappear, drawn into the forest by the haunting voices. The last camper stands alone, surrounded by whispering trees, realizing that the forest itself is alive and hungry for new souls. The Phantom Camper. While exploring a secluded part of the forest, a group of campers stumbles upon an old, abandoned campsite. The tent is still standing, and the campfire remains unlit but intact. That night, as they sit around their own fire, they see a shadowy figure moving among the trees, always just out of reach. The figure gets closer each night, and they realize it's the ghost of a camper who vanished years ago, searching for company in his eternal solitude. The Cursed Campfire Tales. A group of friends gathers around a campfire, sharing scary stories to pass the time. As each tale is told, strange things begin to happen that mirror the stories. When one camper tells a story about a vengeful spirit, the wind howls and a ghostly figure appears. When another speaks of a creature in the woods, they hear rustling and growls. The friends quickly realize that their stories are coming to life, and they must figure out how to break the curse before it consumes them. The Haunting Howl. Campers hear eerie howls echoing through the forest each night. The howls grow louder and more menacing, accompanied by the sound of something large moving just beyond their sight. They find claw marks around their tents and discover that an ancient creature, awakened by their presence, is hunting them. As the nights progress, the creature's attacks become more brazen, and the campers must find a way to escape before it claims them all. The Vanishing Footprints. While hiking, a group of campers finds fresh footprints leading deeper into the forest. Curious, they follow the trail, but it abruptly ends at a clearing with no sign of anyone around. They set up camp nearby, but strange things start happening at night. Items disappear, strange noises surround them, and they feel eyes watching them. They realize too late that they have stumbled into the territory of a malevolent spirit that traps anyone who follows its footprints. The Forgotten Campsite. A couple on a romantic camping trip discovers an old campsite, overgrown and forgotten. They set up camp there, intrigued by its eerie charm. As night falls, they experience strange occurrences, shadows moving in the corner of their eyes, whispers in the wind, and ghostly figures appearing near their tent. They uncover the site's dark history. A family had camped there years ago and mysteriously vanished. The spirits of the family now haunt the site, seeking to ensnare new victims to join them in their eternal limbo. The Ghostly Ranger. A group of friends camping in a remote forest are visited by a forest ranger who warns them of a dangerous creature in the area. They heed his advice and stay vigilant, but the creature attacks their campsite that night. The next day, they report the encounter to the park authorities, only to learn that no rangers have been stationed in that area for years. They realize the ranger was the ghost of a man who disappeared while hunting the creature, still trying to protect campers from beyond the grave. The Night of the Red Moon. Campers are excited to witness a rare red moon, but soon regret their decision. As the moon rises, strange and terrifying events unfold. The forest comes alive with shadowy figures, ghostly apparitions, and disembodied voices. The campers find themselves trapped in a nightmare where the line between reality and horror blurs. They must survive the night and the wrath of the red moon's supernatural forces if they hope to see the dawn. The Inscribed Trees. Campers find trees with cryptic messages carved into their bark. At first, they think it's a prank, but the messages become more disturbing and specific, detailing their deepest fears and darkest secrets. As they try to leave the forest, they find themselves lost, with the inscribed trees appearing no matter which direction they take. They realize the forest is alive, feeding on their fears, and they must confront their deepest fears to escape its grasp. The Haunted Trail. A group of friends decides to hike a trail known for mysterious disappearances. As they venture deeper, the forest seems to warp around them. Paths change, the scenery shifts, and time seems to stand still. They encounter ghostly apparitions of previous hikers who warn them to turn back. Ignoring the warnings, they press on, only to find themselves trapped in a nightmarish loop where the forest itself is a malevolent entity. To break free, they must solve the mystery of the haunted trail and appease the restless spirits.